We met at Baylor University our junior year in a marriage and family class of all things. And so he was sitting down in the second row. I was up high looking at this really cute guy. Wait a minute, we didn't really meet that year. I was just looking at him, he was looking up at me, but at the time I was dating someone else. And so then, fast forward about a year, we were in drop ads line, which is a very, very long line to register for the next semester. And he was one person away from me. There was a girl in between us, and he looked at this girl and said, "Man, it's hard to get dates with tried out pledges." And I went, "Why don't you try the members?" And I've never been so bold, but I wanted to go out with that guy. That's how I remember it.
And so the next day, I made a phone call, and the day after that, no, actually that day, we went out, and never dated anybody else after that. A flight to Love Field in a private plane that my roommate was the pilot, and both of our families would have killed us had we known we were doing that, but young love, I guess.
And when we got to Love Field, they had used all their money to pay this tax that they weren't counting on, he and his roommate.
A landing fee.
A landing fee. So by the time we got there, they had no money to eat on.
We had no money to go to dinner, so we had to fly back.
But they just said they weren't hungry. And they had enough to give us, the two girls, food, food. And we were like, "You're not hungry?" Okay. Anyway, they were sweet. I think one of the secrets of our marriage is we made a pledge to one another from day one that we would never entertain the idea of divorce. It would not be a topic of conversation.
It wasn't even an option.
It wasn't an option. And so we have had a few bad days or bad, periods, but we work through them. We have just as many. We have many, many more up days. But even on the worst, lowest day, we know that's not even an option. And so there's just this settling. There's this stability that comes from knowing that we will weather terrible, horrible storms, but we've got great days ahead.
Well, and just having realistic expectations, knowing that there's going to be bad seasons. You're not going to marry someone perfect. Your marriage is not going to be perfect. But having realistic expectations and keeping the Lord at the center. I mean, individually, if the Lord is at the center of our lives, as we grow closer to Him, kind of like the triangle, we can't help but grow closer to one another as we individually grow closer to Him.
Which is the counsel the premarital pastor gave us in our one session of premarital counseling, and we've never ever forgotten it.
37 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Before our marriage. I have a couple thoughts. One, embrace your role, and don't be afraid to be the man of the house or the woman of the house. And as the man, I'm happy to be the provider and the protector and the leader. But that doesn't mean I have any role superior than my wife. But God made us unique, and we should embrace that role.
I would tell her to keep having fun, keep dating, keep pursuing each other. And it's hard when the kids come on the scene to keep that up, but that's so very important. Get a babysitter, go out, continue to laugh together. That's what I'd say.
There's a song, I love country western music, there's a song by Clint Black called When I Said I Do. I don't know, it just so defines it. The implication is, or the storyline is, when I said I do, I meant that I would till the end of all time. And so entering the marriage with the understanding that this is forever.